Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Lost Ark build video, and today I'm going to be covering what has easily become one of my new favorite classes, and that is Shadowhunter. This is also what you guys voted for the most, so let's just get straight into it. First, let's talk about the class bonus, which is going to be the epicenter of our build, and as you guys might expect, that is going to be Demonic Impulse. Now, usually when you enter demon form, you have a 30-second timer afterwards where you can't earn any meter. Demonic Impulse removes that, so you can go straight back into it if you manage to build up enough gauge. It also resets your demon form skill cooldowns, but those are already really low, so it doesn't really matter. But at level 3, it also gives you 30% crit rate while you're in demon form. So as you can see, this build focuses on staying in demon form for as long as humanly possible. Get it? You get the little pun there, little joke? Do you get it? Because anyway, like I said, this is going to be the build we're going to focus on and the one I'm going to recommend to anybody that plays Shadowhunter. It is just simply too fun to be in demon form and super satisfying to use the skills. This also makes the character super straightforward to play and build. So let's start by talking about stats. Specialization increases the damage of your demon form skills, the duration of your transformation, and the amount of meter that you gain while you're in your human form. So we're going to focus on spec as our main stat and crit as our secondary stat. This means you're going to want a crit spec necklace and spec on the rest of all of your accessories. Next, let's go over your skills, and you'll actually be using the exact same skill loadout for both raids and chaos dungeons since you're going to be focusing on transforming anyway. For this, you're going to need at least 268 skill points. However, at first you won't be able to gain full meter from one skill rotation. You simply just don't have enough spec from your accessories, and you probably don't have enough wealth runes unless this is like a later tier alt that you have. So this means you're going to have to use cooldown reduction tripods to do them all as quickly as possible so you get them back quicker and you can use them again to go into your form. This is one of the reasons why Shadowhunter doesn't feel that great in tier 1 or tier 2, but trust me, it is not as unplayable as some elitists might make you to think. It is simply a little bit slower, but it's still really strong. But anyway, I'm just saying that once you get into tier 3 and you have high enough spec and wealth runes, you will be able to get your full meter in one rotation, so the cooldowns will become useless. But for now, you're going to want Demonic Slash with excellent mobility for mobility, Rising Claw with quick prep, Demon's Grip with quick prep and encroaching power, Demon Vision with concentrated release, encroaching power and instant discharge, Howl with quick prep, encroaching power, and Scream of Fury, and this is going to be your synergy skill, and both of these skills are going to be your main meter generators. You'll also want Demonic Clone with Naively Honest, or Naively Honest, I'm not sure, English is my second language, Fist of Destruction and Enhanced Release Encroachment, and Decimate with quick prep, weak point detection, and Cruel Hand. Like I said, once you can get your full identity gauge in one rotation, you just swap off the cooldown tripods on these skills in favor of attack speed or paralysis immunity since you do not need the cooldown anymore. And in max skill points, this is what your Demonic Impulse build should look like. For your awakening skills, you have two options, Gate of Eruption and Fallen Ruin. Gate of Eruption can only be used in human form and it fills up your identity gauge pretty much to full. The only problem is that it does that over time, so if you miss it or the monster moves, it's pretty much GG. But you should ideally only be using this awakening when you're in tier 1 or tier 2 because it's basically a free transformation at the beginning of a fight. Once you're able to get your entire gauge in one rotation, you don't need this anymore, and then you can use Fallen Ruin instead, which does do higher damage, and plus you can only use it when you're in demon form. You cannot use Gate of Eruption, so since you're going to be in demon form most of the time, this is going to be your go-to. Now, before I move on to engravings, I want to quickly mention tripods, and I haven't really mentioned tripods in my previous videos, and I'm going to start doing that. But for this class specifically, it is very, very important that as soon as you get into tier 3, you start focusing on getting encroachment tripods as quickly as possible, because this is going to aid in your meter gain, and it is very, very important to do so. Other optional tripods you can focus on at first are Swift Finger tripods for attack speed and excellent mobility for Demonic Slash. Now, moving on to your engravings, at first they should be Demonic Impulse 3 and Adrenaline 1. Later on, once you get legendary accessories, you should focus on getting Demonic Impulse 3, Adrenaline 3, Hitmaster 3, and Raid Captain 1. Raid Captain 1 is just a spare level 1 engraving. You do get a bonus move speed when you're in demon form, so this will give you a little bit more damage for no downsides. And Hitmaster is also a very good engraving, since literally none of your abilities except your counter have a back attack or a head attack modifier. And finally, with relic accessories, you should have Demonic Impulse 3, Adrenaline 3, Hitmaster 3, Grudge 3, and Keen Blunt 3. This is the loadout that I personally am going for and I recommend, but there are some other people that prefer Raid Captain and Spirit Absorption, so you have 35% increased move speed total, attack speed, and about 16% more damage from having Raid Captain 3 with 135% move speed. Now for your runes, you're going to want wealth runes on both Howl and Demon Vision, since these are your two biggest meter generators. You can get a guaranteed golden wealth rune from collecting 5 Omnium stars, and may the RNG gods bless you for a purple one, so you can use a blue one for now. You're also going to want Galewind on your longest and hardest hitting demon form skills, Blood Massacre and Leaping Blow, since they have the longest animations. You're going to want Overwhelm on Destruction, Quick Recharge on Ruinous Rush, Bleed on the appropriately named Gore Bleeding, and Rage on Deathclaw. For your gems, you literally only need 2 gems, one for demon form skill damage and one for demon form skill cooldowns. If you have gems for other skills, you can feel free to use them, but I'd honestly only use them in tier 2, since you can't really get demon form in one rotation still, because once you're able to get demon form in one skill rotation, CDR for your human form abilities is completely irrelevant, and so are damage gems, because you are literally never going to be using those skills. So just transfer them off to other characters that might need them more, or sell them for some gold. Lastly, for your cards early on, you're going to want the Lost Cliff Wind set for a little bit of extra crit rate, and later on at endgame, you're going to want the Light of Salvation set. And that's it, guys. That's my Shadowhunter build. Let me know in the comments if you guys would like to see a perfect suppression Shadowhunter build in the future, but looking at how gutted they might be in the latest Korean test server, not sure that that build will see any use in the near future. But feel free to leave any suggestions in the comments or what build you would like to see next, and until then, I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care.